The trial chambers are one of the coolest structures ever added to Minecraft, and if you're looking for the most challenging trial chamber seeds to run through with your friends, or you just want to check out some cool chambers on your own, then here's a list of the best trial chamber seeds for Minecraft. Starting off with what I think is the largest trial chamber, containing a total of 55 trial spawners. Looking at the entire thing in spectator mode, we can see that it's so big I can barely fit the whole thing on the screen without obscuring some part of it. The main hallway here is a total of 118 blocks long, and is the central hub of the chamber that'll take you to all of its different sections. Although two of the spawner types here are just slimes and silverfish, most of them actually spawn poison skeletons, making this chamber extra tough. And it'll probably take you so long to get through that by the time you've beaten the final room, some of the trial spawners will reset their 30-minute timer, so you could literally play this dungeon endlessly. Next is this trial chamber that generated in an ancient city. The skulk veins that spawn in deep dark biomes are spread across the walls in the chambers, and it's such a great example of how different parts of Minecraft's terrain generation can combine to create something new and unique. Plus, there are some skulk shriekers that are close enough to actually spawn a warden inside of the trial chambers. This could obviously be dangerous, but if you're careful, the warden could actually help you defeat the other mobs in the chamber. And of course, there are also several ancient city structures that partially generated inside of a few of the chamber rooms, like this tower structure here, or more notably, the upper corner of the ancient city portal, which has a trial spawner inside of it. This seed spawns you directly over a stronghold that also happens to be connected to a trial chamber. Spawning over a stronghold is only possible when the world spawn is set over 1,000 blocks from 0, which is pretty uncommon. And the fact that this stronghold busts right through the wall of one of the trial chamber's hallways like it's just another room makes this structure combination even more exceptionally rare. I mean, the floors are at the exact same height, it's pretty cool. But rarity aside, having access to these structures by just digging straight down at spawn is super convenient. And as a bonus, there's a nearby ruined portal that can be easily completed with the obsidian and fire charge in this chest. And for another structure combination that looks weirdly intentional, check out this skeleton dungeon that's aligned to this doorway, adding some additional challenge to this chamber. Just on the other side of this same room is a broken geode that's crashed through the ceiling, and if we climb up the amethyst to the chamber's roof, we can see that we were right below this abandoned mineshaft that has a cave spider spawner. That's a lot of stuff for one tiny room like this. And a few chambers over, there's also a cave spider spawner that's embedded in the floor. This chamber is flooded with a chaotic layer of bedrock that's really hard to traverse, which when combined with the skeleton and bree spawners in this room will make for a very unique fight. Seriously, it's so easy to get stuck in a bedrock hole here. Make sure you bring some blocks. And ironically, over on Bedrock Edition, when trial chambers spawn at the bottom of the world, there isn't any bedrock. The chamber actually just gets cut off and drops into the void, which may seem like it would be harder, but it's technically easier, since all the spiders just fall out of the world and immediately die. Though once the spawners are defeated, it's a little tricky to actually collect the loot that they drop. This stronghold generated directly inside this trial chamber, resulting in one of the libraries generating fully within the chamber walls. Half of the floor was removed, so a bunch of the bookshelves are suspended in midair. And looking up, we can see the floor of a second library just above this one. Overall, you can really get a sense of how trial chambers tend to break the generation of other structures. And this seed has a chamber with a portal room falling through its roof. I searched for a long time, and this is the closest I could find to an end portal actually generating inside of a trial chamber. And over on the other side of this room is another great example of how these chambers completely break structures like strongholds. This chamber just made me laugh. It's the most overly complicated hallway I've seen, as the stairs go up and down repeatedly to reach a door that's literally at the same height as the beginning of the hallway. This hall could have just as easily been perfectly straight without any stairs at all, which is kind of silly. And finally, we have this beautiful lush chamber, full of vines, glowberries, and spore blossoms, which of course are emitting tons of spore particles into the air throughout the different rooms. A pretty bizarre artifact throughout lush chambers are these floating vines that occasionally spawn. Before we end this video, I wanted to quickly run through a few honorable mentions. I found these while researching for this video, and I didn't have much to say about them, but I still want to share them nonetheless. All of these seeds are in the description below, if you'd like to check them out yourself. If you like this video, be sure to check out one of these next.